welcome back. So today we are going to study about heterogeneous mixture and homogeneous mixture. The last lecture we have studied about mixtures. Let's start. So this is a little bit change I have done in flowchart. Instead of pure I have written pure or substance, impure or mixtures. Homogeneous, that means we are talking about solutions. Heterogeneous mixture, that means we will talk about suspension and colloids. So today this part we are going to cover. Okay, let's start. So mixture, as you know, they are physical combination of substance. But the important thing is this no chemical reaction takes place when mixture is formed. That means no new substance is formed. A very simple example is you take carbon dioxide, mix water with it, some sugar, flavor, and your soda is ready. This soda is a mixture. It is not any compound or substance. Okay, it is simply a mixture where each constituent has its own property. The mixtures, it may, like if you are making you are mixing sugar with water, then it is a solid liquid combination mixture. If you are mixing, let's say, lime juice and water, then it is liquid mixture. When you are uh, mixing CO2 gas with water, that is carbonated water, that is your gas liquid mixture. You may have solid mixture also, like in case of alloy, where you mix some silver with gold and something like that. So there are some more example. So today what we are going to talk about is type of mixtures. So you have two type of mixtures, homogeneous and heterogeneous. No, genus means of kind. Homo means same. So same kind. Homogeneous means of same kind. Similarly here hetero means different. So heterogeneous means of different kind. Now homogeneous, same kind. What is meaning of that? So meaning of that is the mixture is going to be uniform, evenly distributed. Like for example, when you mix salt with water and when it gets soluble in it, dissolve in it, you can take a drop from any part of that mixture, it will taste same. That means your salt is evenly distributed in the water. It is uniform. This type of homogeneous mixtures which are uniform, which are evenly distributed, they are known as solutions. On the other hand, heterogeneous, that is of different kind, they are visibly different components, they are non-uniform. For example, when you mix oil with water, you can see, though we have mixed them, but you can see two different layers. So they are not uniformly mixed. So this type of heterogeneous mixtures are colloids and suspension. So today we will talk only about homogeneous mixture, that is about solutions. So now let's start with solution. So what is solution? It is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Then first property of solution, particle size is very small in homogeneous mixture or in solution. It is less than 1 nanometer. Nanometer means 10 power of minus 9 meter. So they do not scatter light. Because of this small particle size, they are not able to scatter light. What is meaning of that? That I will show you by a simple experiment. This experiment you can even do at home. Very simple things are required. Okay, so just I will show you some pictures. So this is first picture. As you see, there are two glasses. This glass is filled with sugar solution and this glass is simple distilled water. Okay, so here you have a laser pointer. So this is light, you can see it is this light pointer, it is here. That means it is coming through this water, but you cannot see path of light in this glasses. Okay, so this sugar solution is, as I saying solution, that means it is a homogeneous mixture. Now what you have to do is you have to drop a small amount of milk in this second glass. So when you drop it, It will be like this, and when you stir it, you will see a picture like this. See, you can clearly observe this light path in second glass. This milk that you have added, it has large particle, larger than 1 nanometer. It is like these particles are dispersed, or they are in this water, so they are scattering this light. So this scattering, it depends on particle size. In this sugar solution, particle size so small they cannot scatter, but here they are so large that you can easily see this path. So this second glass, it can be colloid or suspension. More about colloid and suspension we will study later on. So more clearly, if you want to see, this is dark picture, you can clearly see the path of light. Okay, so this simple experiment I think you can do at home also. So if you have, let's say, any solution you want to see, any mixture you want to see whether it is solution, it is colloid or suspension, what you have to do, simply pass a laser light. Okay, you cannot use any ordinary light, because its power is very less. You have to use laser light, yes. Okay, then only you can do this experiment successfully, and by this you can easily distinguish between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so some more properties of solution. It can pass through filter paper. Like if you use a filter paper, make a solution of sugar and water, keep it for a long time, then filter it. You're not able to, through filter paper at least, you're not able to filter out sugar and water. Okay, practically it is impossible. This type of solutions are always transparent and they do not react chemically. Okay. So some more about solution. These are the two important terms used in solution. One is solute, one is solvent. So you know, solution is made up by mixing two or more component substances. So substance which is present in small quantity, that is your solute. It dissolves in the other component, and the substance which is present in large quantity is known as solvent. So for example, let's say you are making sugar and water solution. Okay, so here sugar is present in small amount, so your sugar is solute. Water is present in large amount and it is dissolving this sugar, so your water is solvent, and these two are your solution. Okay, so keep in mind, in solution, one which is present in small quantity, it get dissolved, is solute. One which is present in large quantity, that dissolves other component in it, is solvent. Now some other important term related to the solution is, one is this saturated solution. So when no more solute can be dissolved in a solution at a given temperature, that means let's say if take a glass of water and start adding sugar in that. Okay, up to certain amount only you can add sugar. After that you will not be able to dissolve sugar in that. So that limit up to which your solute or sugar is dissolvable, that is your saturation limit. You cannot add more in that. The important term here is at a given temperature. And why this term is important? Because same solution, if you heat it, then you can add more solute, then you can add more sugar in water if you heat up water. So at particular room temperature, this thing, like for room temperature, you have particular amount that you can add in water. Then solubility, maximum amount of solute in grams that can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent at a given temperature. The same thing, this is amount of solute, let's say for example sugar, that you can dissolve in 100 gram of water. So that will give you solubility of that solution. And concentration, amount of solute present in a given amount of solution. Let's say you have to find concentration of a mixture. So if you know amount of solute, if you know amount of solvent, then you can find out concentration of that solution. Okay, there are two ways to find concentration of solution. So the two ways are, one is by finding mass percentage, that is mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. Second is volume percentage, where mass of solute divided by volume of solution into 100. This is, I think, will be more clear to you when we solve this numerical. So first example is, a solution contained 40 gram of common salt in 360 gram of water. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. So what you have to find here? Mass percentage. Now to find mass percentage, what you need is amount of solvent and solute. So first I will write solute. Now what is solute here? One which is present in less quantity. So here it is salt. So salt have 40 gram. Okay, now solvent which is present in large amount. So solvent, here is your water, and how much it is? 360 gram. Now what you have to find is mass percentage of the solution. So mass percentage of the solution formula is mass of solute divided by mass of solvent. So mass of solution. So mass of solution, how much it is? It is mass of solute plus mass of solvent. So 40 plus 360. So that will give you 400 gram. Okay, this is 400. Okay, now we'll find mass percentage. So mass of solute is 40 divided by mass of solution, that is 400 into 100. So when I cut this 2 and this with this, what I will get is 10%. So this is your mass percent. Hope this thing is clear to you. If not, please contact me. Thank you. That's all for today.